Remember when I had that Love Life Relations poll where I basically made some assumptions based on your guys' results, like do Honoka fans like the other Love Life leaders? Well, since enough people have seemed to express interest in that, I decided I will do one for Aqours as well. I will potentially do more if this video does very well in terms of views and likes. So, of course, in case if you haven't watched the previous one, I will give you a link in the description where you can go and watch it and get the more full detail on the results. But this one, I'm just going to give you basically a quick summary. Basically, I had you guys vote from 1 through 9 or 13, depending on the group size, and I accumulated those data and those rankings. And then I also asked you guys to do your favorites for other groups and a bunch of other qualities. And I'm basically going to take all those pieces of data and figure out what you guys like. My goal is I will be taking the top 3 from a bunch of characters and use that to help me learn about other pieces of data for other characters. So first up, we're going to start with Chika. And basically, I will be asking a few questions, trying to figure out what Chika fans tend to like. So top 3, so if you gave Chika first, second, or third, you'll be in this data set. So, do Chika fans tend to like Yo, Riko, other leaders, or second years, which are all things that I think might be true. So, for example, we're going to be looking at Ayumu's here, and this is only taking people who voted from Chika first through third. So, we can see Chika fans tend to like Honoka. You could see in yellow that's the best for a category, while silver is second, bronze is third, and red is generally the worst in each section. So, you can see Chika fans tend to like Honoka, and then next would be Umi, and then Maki. I'm going to also take a look at the average difference as well, which goes to show more reflection of compared to the average. So you can see the most improved would be Honoka from the general results. You can also see like things like Prontom for Chika as well. Of course, then we get a look at Aqua. You would definitely ignore Aqua more in this video because obviously Chika is going to do very well in the top 3 only. That's why you can see that data right there. But next up, we can see Yo would be second, and then third would go to Yoshiko. But you can see Yoshiko improved or had the worst differential. So you can see Chika fans tend to like Yoshiko less than the average, but she still does well overall. And we can see like they like Kanon more, which is not a surprise. And again, I would recommend you to pause the video to look at this data more because I'm going to try to go through this fast because I have a lot to go through. Then we can go jump to Nijugaku. We can see Chika fans overall most still like Setsuna Yuki, and there is a slight improvement. We also see that Rina gets an improvement, and then we'll get to see third goes to Riko. Of course, the one we're most focusing on is Ayumu, and you can see there is definitely a big improvement, and she improved the most. She is a leader, so it definitely looks like when you like Chika, you probably like the other leaders because that is definitely one of the bigger qualities and a reason for people to tend to like Chika. In terms of characters who have orange image colors, we can see I there, but we can see it's a slight disimprovement. Last but not least, we have Liella, and we're looking for Chika. Of course, we're focused on Kanon. Kanon is just a favorite from Liella. We also see on top that there is the most improved. So yes, Chika fans do like the leaders, and that is true for Honoka as we saw earlier in the previous video. So there's definitely a big relation for if you like one of the leaders, you tend to like the other leaders. Second goes to Chisato, and third goes to Kuku, and those are also the 3 most improved. And we can see if you like Chika, chances are you like Shiki a little bit less. Same with Natsumi and Sumire. So those are the basic ideas for this. Now we'll look at the other pieces of data. So we can see number 1 is personality, but there's no big change in these categories. We can see that if you like Chika, you're a little bit more likely to be a male than a female, and Chika fans tend to be a little younger. In terms of group rankings, you like Aqua a little bit more than average, and Aqua is still your favorite. Probably not surprised if you like Chika a lot. And then we go to year rankings. If Chika's your favorite, you tend to like second years more. Not too much of a surprise. And then we get to see that you tend to like orange a little bit more if you like Chika. Who could have guessed? And you tend to like blue lights, which has been the favorite color overall. So to summarize, do Chika fans tend to like Yo? I didn't really see a big correlation. For Riko, maybe. Earlier, of course, if you like Chika, you like the other leaders. And if you like a second year, chances are you're going to like the other second years because they all kind of have a similar-ish personalities and roles. Moving on to Dia, we got to see, do other red image color girls line up with Dia fans? Do Dia fans like Ruby? How about Ren, which I figured is probably the most similar role and similar character-wise that we see with Dia, so I definitely wanted to see that. Do Dia fans tend like other student council presidents? She definitely plays that role, so I can see that. And of course, we're going to see, if you like Dia, do you like other third years, which all kind of have a little bit similar personality and role that they play in the anime. So let's start with Muse. The first place we have Umi, which kind of makes sense. They have a little bit similar role. And the second goes to Ellie, and then third place goes to Maki. So we get to see, yes, it's Ellie, which is student council president. We do see that line up, and we see Maki get third, but it's a little bit of an improvement. So I don't know if that necessarily means there is a trend in terms of red image color girls, at least from what we see from Maki here. But we do see that third years seem to do a little bit better, because we also get to see Nozomi. Riko, she's kind of more of an oddity in the third year's role, but we do see improvement in Ellie anyways. Moving on to Aqours, in second place we got Yoshiko, in third place we got Hanamaru, and fourth place we got Mari. We get to see there is a slight improvement in terms of Kanon, so there is a bit of a correlation that we get to see with them. Now, the third best in terms of, or second best technically in terms of differential would be Mari, although there seems to be a little disimprovement. So I don't want to draw a big correlation there, but it's kind of goofy to deal with, you know, Dia and Aqours section. But we get to see Azeli definitely improves, which, you know, Dia plays a role in that. We get to see Yo falls off pretty hard, and Yoshiko falls off, but, you know, Yoshiko still does very well overall, even amongst Dia fans. Moving on to Nijigaku. In first place we got Kanata, second place we got Riko, and then third place we got Nanju. So, the first and foremost we got Tetsunuki. She is the red image color girl, but we get to see Ten did a little bit worse there. In terms of the third years, you know, we got to see Kanan sees a bit of improvement. Kanata Wood got first place overall, and there's Emma, we got a bit of an improvement, so we definitely see that. Tetsu kind of student council, kind of not. Same thing, but this Riko did become student council president, so we get to see there that we do see a bit of correlation with the student council president as well. Last but not least, we have Liella. First place goes to Kanon with a bit of a disimprovement, and then second goes to Sumina, and third goes to Ren. And we get to see, yes, the most improved would be Ren. So we do get to see Dia fans tend to like Ren more than the average, and you know, that definitely, of course, makes some sense. No, she's not a third year yet. I guess she will be, but we get to see that she kind of plays that role. Interesting enough, we got to see Natsumi get a little bit of improvement, the second most improved, which I don't understand that. And Mei, the red image color girl here, did not seem to improve at all. So I don't think red and Dia, there's no correlation for why people tend to like that. In terms of the qualities, I didn't really see anything major that was different here in terms of what kind of people tend to like. It seems to be 20 to 25 year olds. A little bit more mature audience seems to like Dia a bit more. If you like Dia, you tend to actually like Muse a little bit more, but still you tend to like Aqours the most, which is the favorite group overall. And if you like Dia, you tend to like third years a little bit more, but on average you still like second years most. And for favorite color, you get to see red doesn't seem to play a big role here whatsoever. The most improved is actually purple for whatever reason. So, do Dia fans tend to like red image colors? No, it just seems the Dia fans don't really care about red. For Ruby, we didn't see that. Ren, we did. Other student council president, usually yes. And third years, yes, that definitely seems to play a bit of a role. Now we go on to Hanamaru, and what do their fans tend to like? So, of course, Haneo is one of the questions I have, because, you know, they both have Hana in their name. Also Rin, because we got to see Hanamaru's inspiration was Rin. We got curious to see if other big eaters plays a role, and how about Ruby? They're kind of best friends. And does yellow play a role in people liking Hanamaru? So let's jump to Muse. So first and foremost, Umi was first place, Rin got second place, and then third place goes to Kotri. So we do get to see that Rin, as the inspiration, we get to see they do play both a role in there, and that we get to see, of course, she's also, her image color is yellow, so we do get to see that. The most improved, though, is Haneo. So yes, there is definitely a correlation between those two. And so that being true for Haneo, and now we get to see that true being for Hanamaru, so those both go in turn. So definitely was interested to see that. Now we're gonna go ahead and move to Aqours. So first and foremost, second place went to Yoshiko, third place goes to Yo, and then fourth place goes to Chika. The best differential beyond Hanamaru would be Ruby. So I kind of want to say yes, although there was a slight disimprovement. So I don't say there's like a big pull for Hanamaru to like Ruby more, and Hanamaru fans tend to still not like Ruby that much overall. As you can see, it's 8th place. There's a slight influence, I would say, but you know, people tend to not really care about Ruby overall anyways. But we get to see that Kiss still did the best, which, yeah. So for Nijigaku, we get to see first place goes to Rina, second place goes to Kanata, and third place goes to Shizuku. The most improved would be Shizuku, and then the second most improved would be Emma, and then the third most improved would be Kanata. So in terms of the big eaters, we do have Emma there, which we get to see a bit of an improvement over there, especially there seems to be some correlation among those two. The yellow image color girl would be Kasumi. There is a slight pull there, but nothing major. And you know, first years overall, especially we get to see with Kasumi and Shizuku, you know, I do see some bit of correlation over there. And then we got for Liella, first place is Kanon, no surprise. Chisato gets second, and third place goes to Suna. The most improved is Kinoko by a good margin. And then we got Chisato afterwards, and then Kuku. So of course Kinoko is the yellow image color, and top of that, she does tend to eat a bit more than others. So she definitely plays the most similar like role. She's also first year, I guess later becomes a second year. But we do get to see that Hanamaru fans tend to like Hinako more because there is some overlap there. They got yellow, they both eat a lot, so I can definitely see why that some people would have some overlap over there. In terms of qualities, no major change that I saw here. And then for the demographics, females like a little bit more, but there's no massive change that I really saw here. And in terms of the group rankings, Aqua's still number 1, but there's a slight improvement in Liella, but this is really slight, so I don't really see a big correlation anywhere. And then for year rankings, there is a bit of improvement for first years, but you still tend to like second years overall more if you are a Hanamaru fan. And last but not least, you do tend to like yellow more, and then after that's purple. But yellow does seem to play a bit of a role for liking Hanamaru. So overall, you do like Hanyo, you do like Rin, you tend to like big eaters. Ruby, kind of, I would say. There wasn't a huge correlation, but I guess close enough. And then yes, yellow seems to play a bit of a role in terms of liking Hanamaru. Now we go and see for Kanan. So the most similar I could think, at least for Muse, would probably be Nozomi. I thought of Umi, but I think Nozomi is a little bit closer. We're also curious to see if kind of like Mari and Daya. And how about green image color girls? I know it's just kind of a teal, but you know, green is closest color. So look, if we go look at for Muse, we get to see Umi is top, then second goes to Ellie, and then third goes to Nozomi. So the most improved would be Ellie, but past that would be Nozomi. So I kind of see that if you like Kanan, you tend to like Nozomi. You also tend to like Ellie and Umi as well. But in terms of, for what my questions, yes, looks like that for Kanan, you tend to like Nozomi a little bit more. We get to see Kanan fans don't tend to like Honoka, as she definitely did not do that well. And past that, we have Nico as well. So not necessarily all third years are liked more, but I think there is a bit of a trend there. For Aqours, we get to see second place is Daya, and then third place is Hyo, and the fourth place is Hanamaru. So of course the big notable is Daya has a pretty sizable improvement, especially because the fact that we got something that significant in the Aqours versions when we look at Aqours, because it often tends to be the highest improvement would actually be a slight disimprovement. So that is a pretty significant poll that we get to see. The Kanan fans do tend to like Daya a lot more. So that is definitely notable. But you definitely don't like Yoshiko as more, as we can see over there under that. For Nijigaku, we can see first place goes to Kanata, second place goes to Setsuna, and third place goes to Riko. The most improved would be Kanan, second most improved would be Emma, and then third most improved would be Mia Taylor. So I'm starting to see the trend of Kanon fans, of course, tend to like third years. That just seems to be the trend. If your favorites are third years, chances are you like other third years. That's just a trend that I'm seeing across the board. It's not, you know, guaranteed, but there is definitely more of a pull there. In terms of green color, we get to see Emma gets a bit of improvement, but Riko does not. So I'm not really seeing that green correlation whatsoever. And then lastly for Liella, we get to see Kanon's the favorite. Second goes to Chisato, and third goes to Ren. In terms of most improved, we got Ren, then Shiki, and then Mei. So again, Ren's kind of acts like the third year, so we can definitely see that kind of that correlation and role. That definitely sees why kind of had tend to like Ren a little bit more. In terms of green, we get to see Suna. She improved the least. She was the worst in terms of average differential, so there definitely seems to be not so much of a correlation that I see there. And then we get to see that Shiki gets improvement, which I guess that's kind of cool. In terms of the qualities, I really didn't see anything too significant, though memes and humor, no one said that was the most important. In terms of the demographics, a little bit of the younger audience seems to like them Kanan a little bit more. In terms of group rankings, we get to see Nichikaku got a slight improvement, but this is so insignificant. Most importantly, we just got Aqua got first. In terms of year rankings, we get to see that third year's got a significant improvement, but still second year's overall is still the best in terms of Kanon fans' eyes. And we get to see that Gray was the most improved, which is kind of interesting, but Blue still being the favorite overall. So from the trends that I see, yes, Kanon fans tend to like Nozomi and Umi as well. Mani and Daya, we got to see an improvement for Daya, but not for Mari. And for green image color goes, no, I don't see any trends with green. I guess it's kind of a teal, so, but still I don't really see that much of a correlation there. So now we go to Mari, and of course one of the things is, if you like Mari, do you tend to like other girls that have blonde hair? And definitely there might be a correlation there. How about rich girls? We got Maki and Ren, they tend to be a little rich. And how about Nozomi? Probably the closest role that we got there. And of course foreigners. Mari is a foreigner, so do you tend to like foreigners if you like Mari? So let's jump into Muse. So the first place we got Nozomi, second place goes to Maki, and third place goes to Umi. So yes, if you like Mari, you're probably gonna like Nozomi. They both got the purple image color, but they also both have their interesting roles with other girls and where they like feeling. And second place goes to Maki, but as we can see, Mari fans still like Maki, and people tend to like Maki in general, but in terms of the average differential, we didn't see improvement. Actually, it was a little worse, so I don't necessarily say that's a huge correlation. But we get to see Ellie gets a bit of an improvement, and you know, she is a bit of a foreigner. In terms of Aqours, second place goes to Yoshiko, third place goes to Hanamaru, and then fourth place goes to Daya. So in terms of the best differential, we gotta see Ruby, but it's a slightest improvement. I don't know if there's a huge correlation. I guess kind of she got a magenta for image color, but otherwise we got to see Yoshiko after that. So you know, my fans still tend to like Yoshiko, and you know, the Guilty Kiss stuff that we got there, but you know, they don't tend to like Riko as much. But then past that we got Hanamaru. So yeah, and we didn't really get to see too much of liking of Daya Kanan in the third year grouping. For Nichikaku, first place we got Rina, second place we got Kanata, and then third place we got Setsuna. If we're looking for the girl who has purple, that would be Kanata. She kind of has a purplish color, and we can see there is a bit of an improvement there. The best differential would be belonging to Nanju, then Kanan, then I. So of course Kanata isn't the most improved, but I'm seeing a bit of correlation there. If we look for foreigners, we have Emma. There is a bit of improvement. Nanju, of course, also is a foreigner, so we get to see she improved the most. So I'm starting to see, yes, there definitely seems to be a foreigner kind of trend for liking Mari. And last but not least, we have for Liella, first place goes to Kanon, second place goes to Sumne, and then third place goes to Chisato. So of course Kanon wins again, no surprise. In terms of blondes, we got Sumne, and yes, there is an improvement. She improved the second most. Natsumi is the one improved the most, but she also is kind of got a blonde pinkish deal with her hair. So again, looks like if you like blondes, like Mari, you like blondes. That definitely seems to be a trend that seems to be true here. In terms of rich girls, I guess we got to see Ren gets a slight improvement, But again, I don't think the richness aspect is that important for people. As we get to see, it wasn't that huge of a change. In terms of qualities, again, I never really saw a big difference from any of the girls. So, and this is still true. In terms of demographics, we actually got females liking Mari a bit more in terms of the differentials. And then Aqua is still your favorite, but there was a relatively significant improvement for Nichigaku that we got to see there. And if you like Mario, you tend to like third years more, but still second years is the favorite overall. And then for the favorite color, blue's still the favorite, but purple does improve, and there definitely seems to be a role of people liking purple and Mari, and that going hand in hand. So do my fans tend to like blondes? Yes. Rich girls? Not really. Knows me? Yep. Foreigners? I would say yeah, there definitely seems to be a bit of a correlation. It does not guarantee for every single girl out there, but I would say yes. So, and for goofy characters, I'd said yeah. If you like Mari, you like goofy characters. Now we move on to Riko, and what do Riko fans tend to like? Well, of course, big questions. Do you like Maki? And do you like the other players? So we got Mei and Yu. How about Chika and Nair? Kind of tend to be friends. And how about Yo? Are they friends? We'll gotta see about that. So first and foremost, we're gonna be jumping to Muse, and the favorite is Maki. Wow, what a surprise! 2 goes to Umi, and 3rd goes to Ellie. So yes, if you like Riko, you're gonna like Maki. Very, very likely so, because they both kind of play a decent amount of similar roles. They both got red hair. They both play piano. It kind of makes sense why there's a huge overlap there. 2nd goes to Umi, and she is the 2nd most improved. And then we also got Ellie, which is the 3rd most improved. So definitely seems to, people tend to seem to like those characters overlapping in that. And for Aqours, we got 1st place, of course, goes to Riko. 2nd place goes to Yoshiko. 3rd place goes to Chika. And then 4th place, we have Yo. So in terms of Riko fans, do they tend to like Chika and Yo? You really look at the average difference, and they're not great. It could be way worse, but I'm not really seeing a trend for if you like Riko, you like the other 2nd years. It just doesn't really seem to be the case. In terms of most improved past, that would be Riko, or I'm sorry, Yoshiko. And I do think if you like Riko, you tend to like Yoshiko a little bit more. That seems to be a bit of a trend, but nothing crazy significant. For Nichigaku, 1st place goes to Setsuna Yuki, 2nd place goes to Kanata, and 3rd place goes to Riko. And the most improved, we had Setsuna getting the most improved, 2nd goes to Ayumu, and then 3rd place goes to Shizuku. So we get to see that Yu, who's the piano player, of course, was the worst overall, but there was a slight improvement there. The poll isn't as significant that we got like from Maki, because, you know, personality-wise, they're different. But they both do the piano role. But we get to see that Setsuna, you know, she gets improved the most, and she definitely has that flair. For Liella, we have Kanon getting 1st, 2nd place going to Sumine, and then 3rd place goes to Hisato. So the big question is, how about Mei? She kind of has a similar-esque role. She's a piano player, and we get to see, nah, not really. There's no big correlation for Riko fans liking Mei more. But we get to see the most improved is Ren. I guess she has composed songs, but she isn't a piano player. But maybe a little bit more of a similar-esque role that Riko does. 2nd most improved will be Sumine. And 3rd place goes to Kanon. So overall, we're not seeing those kind of trends. Now we're going to move on to the other sections. Again, we don't see a huge difference in terms of the qualities amongst the girls. In terms of the demographics, you're likely going to be a male if you like Riko. It's pretty significant of a difference that we get to see in terms of groups that you like a little more. We got a little bit more of Liella, but nothing too drastic. You're still probably going to like Aqours the most. For the year rankings, you like 2nd years more. Who could have guessed? We are talking about a 2nd year after all. And then for the colors, blue is your favorite, and more so, which is interesting. I thought red would be a little bit more of a pull, but not that much. So overall, do Riko fans tend to like Maki? Yes, but piano players, it's kind of more of a toss-up, and it's nothing significant I saw. Riko fans don't really seem to care that much about Chika or Yo, And for Yoshiko, we gotta see, yeah, I definitely saw a bit of a correlation there. For Ruby, we didn't see, do Ruby fans tend to like her older sister Daya? How about her best friend Hanamaru? How about timid girls, because we know Ruby tends to be a little more timid at times? And how about other pigtailed girls? She's got the pigtails, so I'm curious to see if that plays a role in liking certain characters. So for Muse, the favorite would be Kotari, second goes to Nico, and third goes to Rin. So the most improved we could see is Nico. Again, that's part of the pigtails. Nico's color's pink, Ruby's magenta. I don't think that's necessarily a big role, but she's definitely a goofy character for sure. The second most improved would be Haneo, and third most improved would be Kotari. So I'm not so sure what the relations between Kotari and Ruby are, but that was definitely interesting to see her get first place. And there was Haneo, of course, the shy character. Ruby's kind of shy as well, but they kind of have a different role. So we get to see that seems to play a bit of a trend. In terms of Aqours, second place goes to Yoshiko, third place goes to Hanamaru, and fourth place goes to Mari. So in terms of, do Ruby fans tend to like that? Not really at all. They play too much of a different role, so we don't necessarily see a big correlation amongst those two. Hanamaru was the second most improved in this section, so technically first because ignoring Ruby. But there wasn't a really big poll that we got to see from Ruby fans liking Hanamaru. They're friends and all, but they are different enough where if you like one, you don't seem to really tend to like the other one. And then after we got Mari, so going on to Nichigaku, we got first place goes to Rina, second place goes to Kanata, and third place goes to Riko. The most improved would be Rina, and you know I could definitely see that role. Rina was definitely shy when you guys see the anime, and Rina's of course the most favorite amongst US fans at least. In terms of second most improved, we got to see Emma, and then past that we got to see Ayumu. We don't really have a character that has kind of a magenta color here, so I wasn't really sure we were going to draw any correlations from that. You kind of wears pigtails, so we got to see a slight improvement for you. So I want to say pigtails seems to play a bit of a role in Ruby. And then last but not least, of course, we have Liella. First place goes to Kanon, second place then goes to Chisato, and then third place goes to Sumire. The most improved would be Chisato, second most improved would go to Mei, and then third most improved would go to Shiki. So of course for Chisato, she does the pigtails, and we can see she was the most improved and second most liked overall. So, you know, chances are if you do like Ruby, pigtails might play a role in that, and you know, characters that tend to wear pigtails tend to be a little less mature or that kind of deal. So we could see that might play a similar character role in that. And then for the qualities, again, nothing drastic that I gotta see here in terms of differences. In terms of demographics, you're much more likely to be a female if you do like Ruby, and a bit younger on average. We then have for the group rankings, there was a bit of an improvement for Nichigaku for Ruby fans, which I found a little interesting. And then for year rankings, you tend to like for Sears more. In fact, that was the favorite overall if you like Ruby, so you tend to like the younger group girls. And then for favorite color, pink. And yeah, kind of a pinkish color, though not magenta, which is technically color. But you know, Ruby fans tend to like pink. And for the correlations, Daya doesn't really seem to play much of a role. Hanamaru, kind of. Term girls, I would say probably. Pigtails, yeah, I think I do see a correlation for that. For Yoshiko, we got to see, do Yoshiko fans tend to like Riko? They of course have their own kind of ship going here, so that's definitely one of the things I wanted to see. And then how about gray image color girls? And I figured, why not? Do Yoshiko fans tend to like Setsuna? I was just curious to see if that was true, because I didn't have a whole lot of ideas. Yoshiko's kind of her own deal here. For Muse, we got Maki being the favorite, second going to Umi, and then third goes to Ellie. The most improved would be Maki, second most improved would be Nico, and then lastly we got third most improved going to Rin. So of course Maki getting first, not too much surprise, but of course on top of that she got quite an improvement here. Nico got second most improvement, and they both kind of have a like gremlin role. So I guess that's definitely not out of the equation. And I know some people definitely see those kind of correlations if they kind of play that Tricks or Goofy kind of character. In terms of Aqua, second place goes to Mari, third place goes to Yo, and then fourth place goes to Hanamaru. The most improved beyond Yoshiko course would be Mari and then Riko. So if you like Yoshiko, you tend to like Mari and Riko more. And of course, they're not massive differences here, but keep in mind because of Yoshiko being in, and I'm only taking top 3 of her roles, that is a relatively significant difference. Not the most dramatic, but we definitely get to see there is a bit of a pull. If you Yoshiko, you tend to probably like Mari and Riko more. You know, you like the guilty kiss girls. There definitely seems to be a trend there. And of course, for Nijigaku, we got Setsu getting first, second goes to Rina, and then third place goes to Kanata. The most improved would be Rina, the second most improved would be Nanju, and then third most improved would go to Riko. So, do Yoshiko fans tend to like Setsuna? Yeah, I guess so. And it's still number 1 overall, but it's the most improved, but not like that far off. Rina would be the most improved. I'm not totally sure what the relation is there, but it is definitely a thing. I guess they're both first years. And then after we got Nanju and Riko, so some first years, and then Nanju, which I don't know, I'm not entirely sure. For Liela, we have first place going to Sumine, second place going to Kanon, and then third place going to Chisato. So we actually got Kanon not winning one, which that is a quite huge surprise. And we get to see that because Sumine is liked a lot more by Yoshiko fans. And I can see them kind of having a similar-esque role amongst them. And we get to see that being the most improved. The second most improved is Mei, and then the third most improved is Shiki. So that was definitely interesting to see. The gremlin would be Natsumi, I would say, but there wasn't a big correlation right there. But other gremlins seem to kind of handle that. So in terms of the qualities, again, nothing too drastically different that I saw. That's just true from all the girls pretty much. In terms of the demographics, there was no significant difference. I mean, Yoshiko literally has 49% of votes were in the top 3, so that makes sense. Aqua is slightly different, but again, most people tend to like Yoshiko, at least half, so I don't see that to be too drastic of a difference. Second years was still the favorite. There was a slight pull to first years, but it's smaller than a lot of the other girls that we looked at, and you tend to like blue a little bit more than pink. Gray does not seem to play that much of a role for like in Yoshiko whatsoever. So, do Yoshiko fans tend to like Riko? Yeah, it seems so. Raven's-Color girls? Kinda, not really. Gray doesn't seem to play that much of a role. And then Setsuna, yeah, we gotta see that being the case. And last but not least, we get to Yo Watanabe. So, we are going to see, do Yo fans like Chika, Riko? You know, the other 2 second years. Do Yo fans like Kotori? They kind of play a similar role. Habukuku, they kind of look similar-ish. And of course, Yo is a childhood friend of Chika, so there's a childhood friend thing seem to be a thing that Yo fans like. So we go, first place goes to Umi, second place goes to Maki, and then at third place goes to Honoka. The most improved is Honoka, oddly enough. Second place goes to Rin, and then third place would go to Umi. So of course, we were curious to see how Kotori did, and there was only a slight improvement, so looks like Kotori is not quite too much like Yo, so we're not seeing a whole lot of correlation there. In fact, we get to see Umi being the one, which, yeah, she is also a second year, but not really seeing that trend there. If we go look at Aqua, second place goes to Yoshiko, third place goes to Chika, and then fourth place would go to Hanamaru. The most improved beyond Yo obviously would be then Chika, and then we get to see Kanan. So it looks like if you like Yo, chances are you do like Chika a bit more. That definitely seems to be true. In terms of Riko, no, not really. We're not quite seeing that trend whatsoever. But we do get to see the Chika Yo, kind of the childhood friend combination. So if you do like one, you tend to like the other, at least in this set of data that shows. If we go move to Nijigaku, we go first place goes to Setsuna, second place goes to Rina, and then third place goes to Kanata. The most improved would be Setsuna Yuki, then followed by Ayumu, and then followed by Mia Taylor. So, of course, we get to see Yo fans like Setsuna, and that's most improved. Not fully sure of the correlations, they're both second years and all that. We are curious to look at the childhood friend combination. We kind of have Yu and Ayumu there. And we get to see there seems to be somewhat of a deal there. Yu kind of the childhood friend of Ayumu, so we got to see there's a slight improvement there. So we get to see that kind of plays a bit of a role, but nothing dramatic. And then for Liela, first place goes to Kanon, second place goes to Chisato, third place goes to Sunre. So one of the things I asked was, how about Cuckoo? And yes, there seems to be a correlation. She's the second most improved. The first most improved would be Kanon, and then Chisato being the third most improved. And Chisato plays that childhood friend role, which we get to see, yes, there is a bit of an improvement there as well. Kanon is the favorite, and she got the most improved overall, so definitely Yo fans seem to be liking Kanon. Well, we get to see that Cuckoo definitely kind of plays a bit of that role there. It really helps, and we can see there is definitely a trend there. In terms of the qualities, again, nothing too drastic of a difference that I saw. That just seems to be the case. Males tend to like Yo more than females that we get to see here in this data. In terms of the groups, Liela got a slight boost, but again, nothing dramatic. Aqours still remains the favorite overall. In terms of year rankings, you tend to like second years more if you like Yo. That's just always seems to be the trend. And then last but not least, we got the favorite color. You like blue more, not cyan. If you like Yo more, and the second most improved being yellow for whatever reason. So overall, the trends we see, do Yo fans tend to like Chika? Yeah, we would say so. Riko, not really. Kote, I didn't see any correlations. Cuckoo, I would say yeah, I definitely seen a bit of a correlation. And if you like Yo, you kind of generally tend to like that childhood friend deal. So I went and created our graph, this kind of image. I figured this is really helpful to summarize a lot of the points that I see and put in one image. In case if you don't understand what this is, we get to have each girl section, and if the rank 1 to 3 covers the favorites just from pure data. So for if Chika's in your top 3, then your ranks for Muse would be Honoka first, Umi second, and Maki third. And then Aqua will be 2 to 4, and you can carry that all the way down. The more favor section is if you have Chika being in your top 3, what are girls that you tend to like more than average? I cut off was 0.3 of a difference. So if you tend to like Chika, what characters you tend to like more? Well, we get to see Honoka being one of them, Ayumu being the most improved, then we have Yu and Kasumi, and then Kanon. If you like Dai, for example, who do you tend to like more? We get to see that there's definitely an improvement for like Nanju. So that's basically the idea what we got here. So, you know, screenshot or whatever you want to do, but I did create one for Muse as well. So I hope this is a very helpful image that kind of covers a lot of the points that I talked about. So yeah, that was more or less it. Of course, here are the demographics of the viewers for those who are interested in seeing that, as well as thank you to all the people who participate in these polls. As you see the names fly across the screen. Thank you guys so much. Again, videos like these are not possible without you guys, so I do appreciate it. And of course, I'll try to do more of these videos in the future, though. I'll probably do it slightly different if I were to do something like this again. And of course, here are all the comments in the video. I just made a video because there's too many. Of course, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And did any of these pieces of data surprise you? Or are there any trends that you noticed that I didn't mention? Because there definitely are some trends that I didn't mention. There's just too much to go over, and I didn't want to spend hours analyzing all the pieces of data here, but I just want to cover just a lot of the trends and curiosities and all the questions that you guys might have had. And I just think this image here is a great summary and is able to basically verify a lot of suspicions that we might have. And you know, I thought it was kind of fun to do it, so hopefully you guys have kind of enjoyed this. And if enough of you guys watch, I could probably do Nichigaku, although I'm not sure how I'm going to handle fitting 13 girls on one screen. That's going to be quite of a pain, so I have to think about how I would do that. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I do appreciate you guys watching this all the way through, and I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.